Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something really common for language learners. You know that feeling. You start super strong,
Oh, yeah.
full of enthusiasm. You grab the books, the apps, follow all the English pages online, and then, well, maybe a couple of weeks later, it just kind of fizzles out. That momentum just disappears. Happens to so many people.
It absolutely does. And look, the interesting thing is, it's usually not about a lack of willpower.
Yeah.
That's the common trap people fall into thinking. It's more often a lack of, well, effective systems.
Systems, right. Not just trying harder.
Exactly. People think, I just need more discipline. But what really makes the difference is building these reliable ways to keep going. So our mission today really is to unpack how you can stay consistent even when you're tired, how to make learning actually fun so it doesn't feel like a chore, and how to build a daily flow that really works for you.
That distinction, willpower versus systems, that really hits home. I mean, I've definitely felt that initial burst just evaporate before. You start strong, then lose steam. What's actually going on there? Why does it vanish?
Well, it comes back to that core idea, doesn't it? We rely too much on willpower, and willpower, well, it runs out. It's a finite resource.
Right.
So the key isn't trying to magically find more willpower. It's about setting up better habits, creating better rewards, things that make you want to do it, and crucially, taking some of that pressure off yourself. When you shift from I must be disciplined to I need a better system, things get a lot clearer and, frankly, a lot more sustainable.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So if it's about systems, what does that actually, look like day to day? How do we build that consistency without just adding more stress?
Right. So we've kind of broken it down into a practical 3-part system, something you can start using pretty much straight away.
All right, let's get into it. Part 1. Attach English to existing habits. Now, this sounds interesting because it's not about finding new time, which is often the hardest part, right?
Exactly. It's about weaving it into things you already do.
Okay, tell us more.
It's often called habit stacking. It's super effective because you're basically piggybacking on routines you already have on autopilot. So you take something new, you want to do like your English practice, and you link it directly to something you already do without thinking.
Like what, for example?
Okay, so while you're brushing your teeth, something you do every day, right, cool. Maybe listen to a short English news update. Just 2 minutes. Or when you have your morning coffee, read one short quote in English. Takes maybe 30 seconds. If you're cooking dinner, you could try shadowing an English recipe video, just repeating what they say.
Shadowing. Repeating it out loud.
Yeah, exactly. Great for pronunciation and flow. Or say you commute by bus, spend 5 minutes doing flashcards on your phone, see how it works. English just slots into your existing life. It starts to feel as normal as, well, brushing your teeth.
That really does sound like it removes a lot of the mental barrier, the finding time problem. But, sometimes even if you have the time, it can feel like homework, a chore. How do you tackle that? How do you make it enjoyable?
Yeah, and that's absolutely key. Which brings us nicely to part 2. Gamify your progress. Learning really should be fun. It shouldn't feel like you're punishing yourself.
Right.
You can genuinely turn your English routine into something more like a game. Think about apps, for instance, like Duolingo or LingQ. They have LP systems, right? Experience points. You complete lessons, you get points. It feels good.
Those little pings of achievement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or tracking streaks, celebrating, hey, I've done 15 days of English in a row. That's surprisingly powerful.
Yeah.
Our brains love seeing that consistent effort.
Okay.
And reward yourself. After a study session, give yourself a little treat. Doesn't have to be big. A cup of nice tea, listen to a favorite song, even just 5 minutes scrolling social media guilt-free.
So it's about creating those positive associations.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And you can also set yourself micro challenges, little things like, okay, this week I'm going to learn 5 new idioms.
Yeah.
Or this weekend I'll try to have just one short voice chat with someone.
Those small, achievable goals.
Yes. Because your brain loves small wins. Yeah. Seriously, that little dopamine hit you get isn't just about feeling good for a second. It's actually retraining your brain.
Yeah.
It starts linking the effort of English practice with the reward. So consistency becomes less about forcing yourself and more about, well, almost a craving.
That's fascinating. Wiring your brain to want it.
Ah.
Okay, so we've got integrating it into routines, making it fun.
Mm-hmm.
But what about seeing progress? That can be a big hurdle, feeling like you're stuck. How do you make progress feel, tangible? I think this is where your Fluency journal idea comes in.
It is, yeah. And honestly, this is so powerful, but so simple. It gives you undeniable, concrete proof that you are moving forward.
How does it work?
So every day, you just grab a notebook, keep it just for English, and answer 3 quick questions. 1, what did I do today in English? Could be anything. Listen to a podcast, learned a word, watched a video.
Okay.
2, what new word or phrase did I learn? Just jot one down. And 3, how do I feel about my progress today? Just a quick reflection. Now, imagine doing that for just 30 days. You'll look back through those pages and you'll see all the activities you did, all the new words you learned. You have actual physical proof of how far you've come. That builds this incredible sense of pride, and it really fuels your desire to keep going because you see it working.
Yeah, I can see how that would combat the feeling of being stuck. Okay, this is all really practical. But let's be real. We all have those days, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're tired, stressed out, maybe work was awful, and the last thing you feel like doing is English. What then? How do you stay consistent when motivation just tanks?
Oh, absolutely. We all face those days. It's totally normal. I had a student once who felt so guilty if they couldn't do their full hour of study. We need to get rid of that mindset.
Yeah.
So the first tactic is do the minimum dose. Seriously, even 5 minutes counts. The trick is to lower the bar so much it feels easy. Tell yourself, okay, today I'll just listen to 1 short podcast episode, or I'll just review 3 flashcards. That's it. Often what happens is once you start, you might actually feel like doing a bit more. But even if you only do that tiny bit, you haven't broken the chain. You've maintained the habit. That's the win for that day.
Okay, so just getting started, no matter how small, takes the pressure off.
Exactly. Takes all the pressure off. Second thing, use fun and comfort materials. When you're in a bad mood or feeling drained, don't force yourself to tackle like a dense grammar lesson.
Right.
Go easy on yourself. Watch a funny sketch comedy clip in English. Put on your favorite English-speaking YouTuber. You could even read a simple kid's story, honestly. They're fantastic for picking up everyday vocabulary and context. The point is, learning doesn't always have to be super serious. Sometimes just engaging with the language in a relaxed, enjoyable way is enough.
That's a huge relief, knowing you can adapt it to your mood. What else if you're just feeling bored?
Good point. Third tactic, switch input styles. If you're just sick of reading, maybe try listening to something instead. If you're tired of listening, maybe switch to doing a bit of writing. If writing feels like a slog, try speaking, even just talking to yourself. Rotating activities keeps things fresh and stops you from getting into a rut.
Mixing it up.
Yeah, mixing it up. And finally, this one is surprisingly powerful. Visualize the fluent you. When you're feeling discouraged, take literally 60 seconds. Close your eyes and really picture yourself in the future using English effortlessly. Maybe you're traveling, ordering food confidently. Maybe you're giving a presentation at work. Maybe you're just chatting easily with new friends from different countries. Really feel that sense of achievement, that confidence, that freedom, because that future, it's totally possible. It's real if you just keep taking those small, consistent steps.
That's a really inspiring way to reconnect with the why. Okay, so we talked about building these systems, habit stacking, gamification, the journal, and tackling those low-energy days. How do we pull this all together? How do we make English feel less like a separate task and more like just an effortless part of the day? You mentioned a flow routine.
Yeah, the flow routine. It's basically a simple 3-step formula to help English flow naturally through your whole day, making it feel much more automatic. So, step 1, wake with English.
Okay, first thing in the morning.
Right when you wake up or soon after. It doesn't have to be intense. Maybe just say your to-do list for the day out loud, but in English. Or watch a quick, 3-minute news summary in English on your phone while your coffee brews. Or read an inspiring quote in English. Just something small to set the tone, to signal to your brain, okay, English is part of today.
Got it. A gentle start.
Exactly. Then, step 2, work with English. This is about integrating it during your day, not just before or after. While you're working or doing your daily tasks, find little moments. Maybe mentally describe what you're doing in English. During a coffee break, try thinking in English instead of your native language. Or even record a quick 1-minute voice note to yourself in English about how your day is going.
So it's about shifting your internal monologue sometimes.
Precisely. It builds that crucial habit of thinking in English, not just studying it formally. You're turning your everyday life into practice without needing extra study time.
Okay, that makes sense. And the final step, winding down.
Step 3, wind down with English. As your day ends, take a few minutes. Maybe reflect, again in English, what did I learn today? Or read something enjoyable in English, not necessarily study material. Maybe a chapter of a novel you like, or an interesting blog post. Or do that quick journal entry we talked about, just 2 or 3 sentences. The aim is to end the day with fluency still kind of active in your mind. It helps consolidate things.
Wake, work, wind down. I like that. So for the listener who's thinking, okay, I'm ready to try this, what kind of results can they realistically expect? What's the magic that happens when you actually stick with these consistency methods?
Oh, the magic is very real. And it often kicks in faster than people expect. After maybe just 3 months of really sticking with these small, consistent actions, people start reporting things like, wow, I can actually understand movies now without staring at the subtitles the whole time.
Yeah?
Or, I caught myself just thinking in English the other day without even trying. Or, I actually feel kind of proud of how my voice sounds when I speak English now. These aren't just pipe dreams. These are really common outcomes.
That's incredibly motivating.
Absolutely. And you listening can definitely experience that too. The core message is just this. Fluency isn't built overnight in some massive effort. It's built brick by brick through daily action. Even those tiny stakes, done consistently, day after day, they add up to huge progress over time.
So if we boil it all down, the main insight from this deep dive really is, forget sporadic bursts of intense effort. Consistent, small, daily actions that you cleverly weave into your existing life, that's what works. It's about building the right system for you, not just relying on sheer willpower.
Exactly. And maybe a final thought for you to mull over. Just imagine for a second, how different could your world feel in, say, 90 days, just 3 months, if you really committed to these small daily acts of fluency? What new doors might open, new connections, travel, job opportunities, just personal growth? What could that look like for you?
That's a powerful question. We really encourage you listening to just pick 1 or 2 things we talked about today. Maybe try habit stacking your coffee break, or start that simple fluency journal. Just try 1 thing consistently and see what magic starts to happen in your own language journey. Thanks for diving deep with us today.